Hey everyone, Luke Dog here, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. Ambassador, the city of Kirkwall is grateful for the information that led to the arrest of Worthy the Dwarf. He is in guard custody now. His statement upon being arrested was, I would have gone away with it if it weren't for those meddling Inquisitors. We're taking this as a confession. Viscount Bran. Huh. Our soldiers report that they passed through the tunnel without incident and surprised a sizable Venatori encampment. After the battle, they had to find a different route back because the tunnel had been collapsed. They found this letter. Liliana. They found this letter. Liliana. Letter on dark vellum with obviously dwarven markings. You follow instructions well. Respect of our territory is a first step. We shall see. Binthus Warhelm Kalsharak.
Our soldiers handled themselves well in Adamant.
We've come a long way since Haven. I fear there's still a ways to go, but we're prepared.
Inquisitor. The Grey Wardens fought their way through the mountains. The demons were savage, but the Grey Wardens held them off with great determination. As a result, we have located Marquis Buffon's secret stronghold deep in the Gamordan Peaks. The Grey Wardens continue to fight bravely, but they have suffered many losses. I recommend deploying them with care, lest we lose them entirely. We got a lot of... What do we got in Ferelden? Inquisitor, yeah, blah blah blah.
Inquisitor.
Report in Arcana Stagna's hand. An official request, made officially. The Inquisitor has suffered exposure to the terrors of the Veil and the energy of the Fade. To properly help him endure these forces, I need to understand them. I need samples. I need remnants. I need to see. If it pleases, I request the resources for a grand experiment to peer through the veil, or as far as I can. It's an expensive investment, I know, but it's necessary, and it's only fair. I need to see. I wrote that twice. It's important to me. Sketch below, flowers and fire. Remnants are easy enough. I shall pull the powers we have established in your wake. I'll have the battlefield scoured for samples. That's as close as I would dare with her.
Inquisitor.
What else do we got? Isn't there something else over here? Oh yeah, Samson's weakness. Let's go with... Many of the nobility of the Orlesian capital have settled their secondary differences and are rallying behind two families. The de Rosiers are old money, well respected but viewed as traditional and stubborn. The Theobalds rose with the popular merchant consortium and are considered new money and progressive. While the intent of both families was to rival us politically, if we declare for one of them, we may manipulate events in our favor. Lord Piran de Rosier has not asked for our allegiance, but may respect our rising might. Lady Velise Tybalt speaks for her investors and is interested in forward-thinking alliances. I can draw a number of agreements that tie us to a little beyond ceremony. That will gain the initial interest of the Tybalts.
Let us begin.
Okay. think it's time to head on. An assassin is stalking the Empress. Celene's death would plunge Orlais into chaos, leaving it an easy target for Corypheus. At the Winter Palace of Halam Sharal, Celene is holding peace talks with her rebellious cousin Grand Duke Gaspard under the guise of a grand ball. Every noble in the Empire will attend, making it the perfect place and time for Corypheus' assassin to strike. We can arrange an invitation to attend, to keep him from destroying Orlais, if we hurry.
We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celene will be meeting for peace talks with the usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
Do we need to go to the peace talks? The Empress must have personal guards. We could just warn her she's in danger.
We've made the attempt, but...
It seems that our messages never reached her. Someone intercepted them.
It's better that we don't leave this to chance. If Orlais falls to Corypheus, no land is safe.
Tell me everything we know about the Empress.
Empress Celene is a renowned diplomat and reformer. She works tirelessly to secure peace for the Empire. Unfortunately, many Orlesians view peace as complacency. She has yet to name an heir, leaving the future of the Empire in doubt if anything happens to her. Especially when the next in line is her cousin Gaspard, who's made few friends on the Council of Heralds.
Celene is surrounded at all times by countless guards, courtiers, servants, and vassals. What better place for an assassin to hide than the Empress's own household?
How can Gaspard still be next in line while he wages war against his Empress?
The title Grand Duke indicates that he was a prince before the Empress took the throne.
What do we know about Duke Gaspard?
The man who would have been Emperor. He's Celene's cousin, and was first in line to inherit the throne when Emperor Florian died. Celene outmaneuvered him. She won over the Council of Heralds, who hold authority over title disputes. She became Empress, and he a general in the Imperial Army. He's well loved by the troops. He's also a chevalier. Most of their number sided with him when he turned on the Empress.
Aren't the Chevaliers part of the army? Why would they follow the Duke?
Most chevaliers are sworn to serve the crown, but that does not give them faith in the person wearing it. The Empress has tried to improve relations with Ferelden and Navarra. The Chevaliers see her as anti-military. They believe Gaspard could lead the Empire back to the glory of Draken's expansion years.
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only. She has organized the elves of Halam Sharal into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briala is a jilted lover of Celene's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command. Promising lead.
Wait, the elven leader is a jilted lover of the Empress?
It's not widely known. Just a rumor whispered among the palace servants a few years ago. If it's true and were to get out, the Empress and an elf. The scandal could destroy Celene's court. Even if a lie, Briala could use it to blackmail the Empress. She has some connection to the throne.
You've given me plenty to think about.
With Gaspard and Celene's armies entrenched, we cannot openly march troops to the palace.
My agents will ensure your soldiers get inside. But it must be a few at a time to avoid attention.
Understood. Just give the word, we'll begin.
Okay. I know there's an achievement for getting, like, full court approval, so I'm gonna see if I can do it. Who to bring with? Been soulless.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
Inquisitor Trevelyan, we meet at last. I've heard so much about you. The rumors coming out of the Western Approach say you battled an army of demons. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlesian.
And which one was the rightful one again? I keep getting them confused.
If we keep watch, he may appear, probably by the brandy. I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. Prepared to shock the Assembly by appearing as the guest of a hateful usurper, my lord? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Duke Gaspard. I look forward to ending this civil war.
As do I, my friend. The Empire needs stability and security, now more than ever. If you have the safety of the Orlesian people at heart, Inquisitor, perhaps you will look into something for me. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
That sounds like something I should look into.
Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
What? A marcher? Don't be absurd.
One of the Trevellians, I've heard.
The Orlesian court is pleased to see a noble, even a marcher, leading the Inquisition. You're off to a good start. Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalons. Lady Mantelon. I can offer no apology for my nephew's behavior the other night. Gaspard has never betrayed any interest in following my advice. In truth, everything he said to you at your dinner party, he has also said to me. His resentment at being deprived of the throne has festered for some time, and he was never one to accept defeat gracefully. I would take Gaspard's threats of war seriously. I do not believe my nephew knows how to resolve problems through the use of anything but steel. If his record on the battlefield is any indication, he is quite adept at so doing. I shall be increasing my personal guard directly. Sincerely, Duke Gratian. Halam Sharal. After the glorious reclamation of the Dales, the elven capital lay empty and in ruins for years. A haven for bandits and highwaymen and all manner of miscreants, the land lay unused until the Exalted Age, when Alphonse Valmont, the very lion himself, declared that a palace should be built there in honor of the valiant actions of his brothers in besting the armies of false Emperor Xavier Dracon. Originally called Chateau Leon, it was designed as a grand retreat for the Emperor's brothers and their families. The city of Halam Sharal grew around the palace. The first records of its existence appeared in the Storm Age, when Emperor Cyril granted the title of Marquis to Sir Reginald Montclair for administration of Halam Sharal. An elven uprising destroyed Chateau Leon in the Blessed Age. When Emperor Judicael I rebuilt it, he named the new retreat the Winter Palace. It was designed more for the Emperor and his immediate family than for any cadet branches of House Valmont, and became the heart of the imperial court in the darkest months of winter. Except from Architectural History of Orlais, Volume 1 by Elodie Fernot. I'm going to save the game here, in case I don't get that full court approval.
Pardon me, my lord. You haven't seen a ring lying around, have you? It was a gift from the Comtesse Montbéliard, enchanted by the Fomari. I cannot go into the ball without it.
Is this ring particularly valuable?
Its worth in coin is not as important as its social value. It was a gift from a member of the Council of Heralds. If she finds out I lost it, she will never forgive me. Not even if I live to be 1,000 years old.
That's a terrible predicament.
If the Comtesse finds out, make her have mercy. Should you happen upon it, I beg you, let me know.
Here you go.
Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
You just gain court approval, which is usually the result of finesse, entertaining people, or keeping up appearances. Higher court approval is, the better.
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a treasure! I cannot believe you found it! You have saved me a lifetime of mortification. How can I thank you enough?
There's something over here. The Virtual Fountain. Emperor Judicael I commissioned this massive fountain to commemorate House Valmont's historic victory against Xavier Dracon. The four lines represent Emperor Alphonse Valmont and his three younger brothers, Duke Isidore d'Orlesian, Duke Yvonne of Sarine, and Duke Stéphane of Valmontaigne, who took the field against the usurper.
I can hardly believe Gaspard and Celene are innocent.
Grand Duchess Florian must have worked a miracle. Where has that servant gone?
Foreigners. Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end to the war tonight.
Pray, my friend. If the Maker does not hear us now, just pray.
Hmm. Storage key. Oh, actually, there's something over here.
It's been too long since I've had any word from
Is it
Valois.
the door? Possibly. Great blackmail hunt. Yeah, I think it's just the front gate.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois. We can only hope Celene prevails tonight. Gaspar will ruin us all.
Hala statues. Oh, there's one right here. Superstitions of the royal family. The Valmont family has its quirks. Every family does. But the Valmonts lean particularly toward the occult. Emperor Reveal the Mad believed in ghosts. He was certain that his mother continued to advise him after her death, and that the angry shade of his twin brother sought his downfall. He employed the services of soothsayers to convey messages from beyond the grave and to stave off his slain brother's wrath. His son, Emperor Judicael I, had a fascination for all things ancient and arcane. It is said that his desire to reconstruct the palace of Halam-Sharal, after an elven uprising destroyed it, was due more to his interest in the site itself than in politics or the game. They say he chose to spend the winter months at this family retreat because he believed the palace located at a nexus of elven magic, that spending time there would grant him longer life, as was the fabled immortal elves. In the end, the palace did not prevent his death due to heart failure. His youngest son, Prince Renaud, had a similar interest in elves in the Dales. He collected carvings of Hala, the Dalish beasts of burden sacred to one of their false gods. The statuettes, all the work of Dalish artisans during the long walk, were kept in his room in the Winter Palace. When his daughter ascended to the throne, she had them repurposed as keys. But why? And for what? No one can know.
Does anyone have a report on the casualty?
Anything else up here? I think that's everything out here.
We can only hope Celene prevails tonight. Gaspar.
Just check down here quickly.
I told you we should have worn a silver case.
Is that the Inquisitor?
Emma. The maker.
Looks like it.
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I'm sure you know how to handle most nobility, but the game is nothing like the Free March's intrigues. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
I'll keep my guard up. Don't worry.
The game is like Wicked Grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You are safer in the Fade with the Fear Demon.
It might be a good idea for the others to hear this warning. Cassandra is usually not the subtle or cautious type.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
Time to see if we can get the court approval up. Oh, Riordan. He was the one from Origins, I think. Okay.
I wish there was more news coming from the convoy.
Good news is becoming an increasingly rare commodity.
So this is just the Winter Palace. What's the summer one look like, I wonder? Shit. I just saw two dwarves from the Merchants Guild go inside. If anyone asks, I'm not here. So this is just the Winter Palace. What's the summer one look like, I wonder?
It will take some time to get our men into the palace. I'll alert you when we're ready. It will take some time to get our men into the palace. I'll alert you when we're ready. It will take some time to get our men into the palace. I'll alert you when we're ready.
The sooner we go in, the sooner we can get this over with. The sooner we go in, the sooner we can get this over
I
with.
heard the Grand Duke invited the Inquisition here.
How could the Empress afford to renovate the palace without war going on?
I heard that it wasn't renovations at all. The palace was damaged by Gaspar's catapults.
He fired on the Winter Palace? That's monstrous.
I had hoped to tour the Royal Wing Gardens again.
I have heard they are the finest in the Empire. It's such a pity the wing is sealed. I heard Celene was having the entire wing redecorated, but the timing is atrocious.
Why would she do such a thing now?
Interesting. Good to know. Interesting. Just gossip.
Where's everyone else?
Can Gaspar take the throne without the backing of the Council of Heralds?
Well, why are there so many errands here?
The Empress invited.
Is there any progress on the Helmi expedition to Amgarak?
House Dace remains steadfast in blocking all attempts to get into the Tig.
There's gotta be something here. Otherwise, why does this keep appearing?
Waste of time.
Fine. The Grand Library of Halam Sharal. The Winter Palace's collection of book is one of the world's largest. Only library of the University of Orlesian and the Imperial Palace Library compare. Famed cabinet maker Gustave of Valfontaine designed and built the shelves, the finest example of his marquetry technique still in existence.
Who does Orzammar favor in the negotiations?
What is Gaspar up? Wouldn't surprise me if it were visible. How can they call this a vestibule? It's a foyer.
Ow.
Please, it's barely half the size of the foyer in the Imperial Palace.
Boring.
The guest wing is not open to the public at this time, Inquisitor.
Gaspar never struck me as pious. You must think he gains military advantage with the Inquisition.
If nothing else, the Inquisition backing Gaspar makes Celene nervous. You know.
Just gossip.
Fine. Okay. Save again.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lord Inquisitor Trevelyan, son of Ban Trevelyan of Ostwick. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the Mage Underground.
This guy writes better fiction than I do.
Champion of the Blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Seeker, Cassandra, Allegra, Portia, Calogera, Philomena.
Get on with it.
Pantagast, 14th cousin to the King of Navarra, 9 times removed. Hero of Orlais, right hand of the divine. Renowned author, Tharic Tethras. Head of noble house Tethras, Desher of Kirkwall to the Dwarven Merchants Guild. the Lord Inquisitor's elven servant, Solus. Sir Callum Stanton Rutherford of Honley, Commander of the Forces of the Inquisition, former Knight Commander of Kirkwall. Lady Liliana, Nightingale of the Imperial Court, veteran of the Fifth Blight, Seneschal of the Inquisition, and Left Hand of the Divine. And Lady Josephine Charette Montillier of Antiva City, Ambassador of the Inquisition.
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celene. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lord Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
Let's hope the breeze does not herald an oncoming storm.
Even the wisest mistake fair winds for foul. We are at the mercy of the skies, Inquisitor. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I have no words to suffice. Alam Shiral has many beauties, and I couldn't do them justice.
Your modesty does you credit, and speaks well for the Inquisition. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me.
Empress Celene Valmont. My dear Viscount, I congratulate you on securing an invitation to appear at court. Allow me to present you with these 3 words of advice as a gift. Don't underestimate Celene. You must not mistake her reputation as a diplomat and peacemaker to mean she avoids conflict. Dozens of her enemies litter the bottom of the harbor in Val Royeaux. Negotiation did not send them there. She is as shrewd and ambitious as her grandfather, Judicael I, but unlike him, she knows how to handle the nobility. She built the University of Orlais, the most vehemently opposed project in Orlesian history, because she knew how to win the support she needed to overcome even her bitterest rivals. She can keep a pet apostate in front of the chantry because even the divine fears her influence. Do enjoy your visit to the palace. Sincerely, Duke Germain.
How are Mama and Papa? Are they in good health? Do they want for anything?
Papa's
In
Josephine! Oh, Josephine! Is this him?
Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true? You and Josephine are going to elope and move to the Anderfells and join the Grey Wardens and fight Darkspawn?
Yvette!
I want to know.
Rumors exaggerate many things, Lady Yvette.
It sounded so romantic.
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette. This is the first time I've encountered any of Josephine's family.
She would forget to mention the artists. I've been studying painting under Antiva's royal tutors. You should be proud, Josie. I'm going to be exhibiting my work next season in the city's biggest salon.
Have you actually sat down and finished the painting yet?
I must wait for my inspiration.
And I must wait for your tutor's bills.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of them.
The dancing is so dull, Your Worship. But the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette.
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Josephine.
Half Royal must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. They've noticed the Empress paying you special attention, but they don't quite know how to take advantage of it yet. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm afraid.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celene has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
This may be my only chance to hear about when Josephine was a girl.
Oh, yes. As she told you about when she was 10 and...
Yvette, stop.
Fine. What about when we were climbing the cliffs by the...
No.
She once told the Duke of...
Absolutely not.
She still plays with her doll collection when no one's looking.
Yvette, that's absurd. Absolutely preposterous.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celene has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Can you believe the Inquisition fill its ranks with apostates?
You just know that will end badly.
Let's see who else we can find.
Laurent was the love of my life. You remember my husband? Poor darling. Killed in a war with Ferelden. Perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor.
Can I get you a drink, Commander Cullen?
No, thank you. Inquisitor, did you need something? The sooner we track down this infiltrator, the better.
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary?
Nothing that stands out. I doubt there's a single person here without ulterior motives.
Do you have any advice?
Orlesian social events don't fall within my area of expertise. There are a few here we can trust. Be careful.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
Gaspard's claim to the throne is fair. Orlais needs someone capable of responding to the crisis at hand. A military-minded leader seems the best option.
You've attracted a following. Who are all these people?
I don't know. They won't leave me alone.
I take it you're not enjoying yourself.
At this point, the headache I'm developing is preferable to the company.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
What were they doing in the western approach? It's a wasteland.
Is that him?
Okay, Liliana.
We can only hope Celene prevails tonight.
Oh, that's Cassandra.
Good. I was hoping it would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celene is from her side. Empress Celene is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celene openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivian was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
That sounds exactly like the person we're looking for.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
My dearest Regine, surely you must have heard of the Pagets' failing fortunes. They lost almost everything. The Lord made some bad decisions and trusted people he shouldn't. All that's left is La Maison Verte in the Dales. They have to sell it and move to the city. I was called upon to find someone willing to buy the house. You'd be so proud of me. I surpassed all the Lord's expectations. I looked into La Maison's history first. Did you know it was built in the time of the elves? It was a sanctuary dedicated to Andruil, goddess of the forest. The house was built around the ruins. The heart of the shrine was an etched stone altar, now in the Grand Hall. It's quite spectacular. Any noble in Val Royeaux would be envious of something with such historical significance. I planned a party to show off the house and its elven altar. We had it decorated with white flowers and candles, even brought in some hearts to graze in the garden outside. The effect was stunning. Then my stroke of genius. Remember when Lady Carnine's pastime was reading about elves and how sympathetic she was to what happened in the Dales? She couldn't stop talking about how we must make contact with the restless elven spirits. All her lady companions were so taken with the idea. Well, I did just that. Or I made the guests believe that's what happened. I had to hire a mage to help, of course. A very discreet fellow from Monsamard. During the party, I talked about how the house was a haunt for sad elven spirits. They ate it all up. Romantic, they said. For the final touch, I had everyone join hands around the elven stone and pray, and the mage, no names, cast a spell that made us dance like puppets on strings and sing The Little Bluebird of Summer. It was a triumph. Offers began pouring in. One of them was even from a representative of Grand Duchess Florian. Oh, I have so much to tell you. I can't wait to return. With great love, Ignatius.
This ball is a waste of time, like all Orlesian foolishness. Let's find the Venatori collaborator and get out of here.
Have you witnessed anything noteworthy?
Nothing yet. I will let you know.
You don't seem to care much for the ball.
Orlesians pretend their petty squabbles are a game. Yes, let us treat murder, corruption, and deceit as delightful amusements. How wonderful. We are here to save Empress Celene, and it galls me. Why does she merit our protection? The Empire would be better off without her. Gaspard is the leader Orlais needs in this crisis.
You support the Civil War?
Of course not. Chaos is what Corypheus wants, and we must oppose him. Were it up to me, however, I would let Celene fall and Gaspard take the throne. He would see the true threat, not spend his time throwing balls and writing letters.
Stay alert. We don't know where the enemy is hiding.
I'll be watching for trouble. The sooner we leave this place, the better.
Anything.
Well, that's useful.
Okay. Darn. Darn it. Emperor Reveal.
Leave us.
Where's the eavesdrop point?
The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
Solus? Nice hat.
I do adore the heady blend of power, intrigue, danger, and sex that permeates these events.
You seem more comfortable with a Grand Orlesian ball than I'd have expected.
I have seen countless such displays in my journeys in the Fae. The powerful have always been the same. Only the costumes change.
Have you seen anything useful?
No, sadly. I do not have the look of one of the elven servants, or I might well be invisible. I wonder how masked men live their lives without ever seeing that servants have an entire society of their own. If you want to find something useful, I would pay attention to what the servants do.
Have you encountered any trouble with the nobles?
The Orlesians do not quite know what to make of me. I have kept to myself, for fear of giving them some purchase to cling to. The food and drink are excellent, however, and the servants have been happy to refill my glass.
I'll be back.
And well.
Boring.
Is that something?
He's wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Herald.
Good to know.
He.
Good to know.
Compendium of Orlesian Theater. A tent. King Draken turned his crown in his hand, entered his trusted cousin, Captain Ashan. Captain Ashan. Hail, your majesty. The armies wait on you. What of the enemy? The Blighted Ones mass on the hill, in larger numbers than even we've seen. We are outmatched on the field. Andraste armed us with faith. Our allies are weak from Cumberland. We are aided by the Maker's word. I do not doubt. Yet your brow is vexed. Draken throws down his crown. Pride killed our prophet. Her sacred words are all we've left. If victory spurns us, who will carry them forward? Who will bear the chant of light? Cousin, the army waits. Maker, for soul fit to lead them. From the Sword of Draken, an examination of the life and history of the Father of Orlais by Marquis Frevet. It's little wonder King Draken's life is one of the most popular tales in Orlais. After founding both Orlais and the Chantry, the charismatic young noble battled the Second Blight for the rest of his reign. Freyet's plays are notable for being the first to portray Orlais' founder as a man beset by doubts, as are we all, instead of an idealized cipher. A few grand clerics attempted to ban the play, saying it criticized the current state of the Chantry, but the Sword of Draken proved too popular among the masses and the nobility, and remains a staple of Orlesian theater to this day. From a Compendium of Orlesian Theater, Volume 2, Classics of the Storm Age by Magister Pellinar.
I should look around.
Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. I'm curious.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspar. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life, if not fight for his destiny?
What can you tell me about the Civil War?
If you are hoping for insight, you've come to the wrong man. It's war. It is brutal, and terrible, and sometimes necessary. There's nothing more to say.
Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Florian hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
Another time, my lord.
Orlesian Caprice coins. Victory in the grand game is not merely determined by what one has at one's command, one's connections, and one's machinations, but what one is willing to give up. The clearest example is the Caprice. Each coin is traditionally a gift. They were once tokens of regard, favors for chevaliers from their lovers or patrons. Throwing them into a fountain was rooted in superstition. The token was offered as a sacrifice, a bribe to Andraste to keep the chevalier safe on the battlefield. The more one had to offer to the waters, the better one's chance of escaping the caprices of fate, hence the name. Over time, the superstitious aspects of the custom faded. Now the caprice is a mark of status. The more coins one has, the more public the spectacle of throwing them away, the stronger one's position in the game. From the Dowager's Field Guide to Good Society by Lady Alitson.
You don't want to be here, stranger.
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspar's vitriol.
I can't imagine Gaspard being vitriolic. What's the matter?
The Grand Duke bears a grudge against the Council for refusing him the crown. He's threatened death if they refuse him again, collectively and individually, along with their vassals.
Dang it!
What backwater did you come from? Everyone knows that.
He hasn't made the pickup. It's been hours.
You went into the servants' wing. Nobody's come out of there all night.
I'll tell Briala we have a situation.
Interesting.
Did you hear what Gaspard said to Duke Germain? His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked attaché roaming about?
This way is closed. Please, use the main entrance to the ballroom.
The band is still waiting for their refreshments.
Well, well. What's this?
Halam Sharal investigation. Clues. Clara, kitchen staff, entered servant's wing by main stair 130. Vernon, undergardener, entered servant's wing from hall 245. Sophie, chambermaid, entered servant's wing from hall 322. Marius, footman, entered servant's wing by main stair 345. Briala, we need immediate support down there. Something's gone wrong.
I heard the Inquisition was here.
You're too gullible.
Get these pastries out to the diplomats.
Okay. What do we got? Explore the Grand Library. Explore the Grand Library. Escape Briala's agents.
The Duchess has asked for too many. I can't carry them all.
We are not serving drinks. Order someone else.
Upper guest wing. Dang it.
Be careful with that train.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the council.
Did you hear what Gaspard
Are you talking to Duke Cyril?
His own
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that
Nothing over
panicked
here.
attaché
Okay.
roaming about?
My Lord Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important. The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
How can I be certain this message is from the Empress?
We three wear the masks of House Valmont.
They signify that we are public faces of the Empress.
They are also extremely fashionable.
I am always honored to hear from Her Majesty.
Oh, she is the honored one, Inquisitor.
Empress Celene is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in his holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
That's a generous offer.
The Empress believes wholeheartedly that the Inquisition is our best hope for peace in these difficult times.
She looks forward to cementing a formal alliance.
As soon as Gaspard is out of the way.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade. Inquisitor.
Did you need something?
Maker, I hope not.
The Lady of Regrets. For the wisest lady in all the land, the criers called, "Come one and all to hear," words like jewels, bright with meaning and grand purpose. When all had come and gathered near, the lady spoke. "Beyond us is a field empty of rightness and wrong. There you may find me, my soul unarmored, and my shield shrouded by my tears for those who yet say, no regrets. That sorrow water what's dear. Wisdom cannot grow in the barren sand." Exploring the off-limit spaces of the palace can yield rewards, but take care not to be gone too long. When you're absent from the party, people notice and your court approval will drop. Dang it.
Interesting.
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and...
Dang it, did I just...
You only say that because you fancy the Empress's pet apostate. It sickens me to think of the chaos those Maleficarum are causing across the Empire.
Even you cannot deny that the Templars abandoned the faithful in their darkest hour. How can you condone that? They are the ones who should be brought to heel, if you ask me.
Lady M, I need you at my side tonight. The unpleasantness in the royal wing has convinced me there is no safety within the palace. I do not expect my cousin to employ magic, but I would hardly be surprised if he provoked another infestation. Since my court enchanter is not here to assist me, I must rely entirely upon you. There is no one else I can trust. Something here. I saw it. Dang it. Grandchildren of Emperor Judicial Valmont I and Duchess Katrine of Habsburg, by Emperor Judicial II and Baroness Emilia Capana, Crown Prince Etienne III, Crown Prince Leopold, Bainbridge Florian.
Gaspar is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the consular.
Dang it. Liliana, where are you?
How has the lyrium trade dropped off so sharply?
With so much fighting, demand should be higher than ever.
My contact said there's a new supplier. Can't track down who it might be.
Nope.
Gaspar is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the consular prince now.
He should have considered that before threatening to burn them all in their homes.
Have you heard from your nephew?
Not since his regiment joined the fighting.
I still need more statues.
What is Lady Pentecost wearing?
That's nothing. Celene, we can discuss this like adults, can't we? We both know the weapon at Briala's disposal could not only turn the tide of our war, but every war. The Empire must control it. I do not believe you disagree. She is now a greater threat to Orlais than anything else. If you and I work together, we can wrest control away from her. Do not deceive yourself that she will be open to negotiations or diplomacy. You know her better than anyone. You know that's impossible.
That's the bell. I should get back to the ballroom.
We can only hope Celene prevails tonight.
Gaspar is wasting his time.
Excuse me.
Nothing he does could win over the consular prince now.
I don't like that. Nobody should
Another coin. Better throw it in.
That would be the second bell. Fashionably late now.
Where has that servant gone? Elves, always shirking their duties.
Gaspar is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the consular prince
Well, well. What have we here? The leader of the new Inquisition, fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
You may never know. Courtly intrigues and all that.
Such intrigues obscure much, but not all. I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celene on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
I don't know. Do we?
You are being coy.
I'm being careful.
Not unwise, here of all places. Allow me to speak first, then. Recently I found and killed an unwelcome guest within these very halls. An agent of Tevinter. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet, if Celene is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
You left Celene alone. Is that wise?
I must return to her anon, but she is safe enough, for the moment. 'Twould be a great fool who strikes at her in public in front of all her court and the Imperial Guard.
What's your interest in protecting Empress Celene? Are you her bodyguard?
Do I seem a bodyguard to you? If anything were to happen to Celene, eyes would turn first to her occult advisor, even if they knew otherwise. There are sharks in the water, and I will not fall prey to them. Not now, not ever.
Why did you kill the agent? You might have had useful information.
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked me first. Why? Undoubtedly I caught him in an illicit act. I did not know from whence he came until after the battle, and regret only that I could not capture him alive. What intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you know far better than I.
Briala's people are whispering about disappearances in the servants' quarters. This key may lead there.
The ambassador does have eyes and ears everywhere, does she not? Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
Monsieur, I too am concerned about this new advisor to the Imperial Court. If Celene is truly curious about magic, why not turn to Madame de Fer with her questions? Why seek out this dark-haired apostate from Ferelden? Why bring the woman here? After a great deal of surveillance, I can reassure you somewhat. I do not believe this Morrigan has our Empress ensorcelled. There is no way to be certain, of course, but the witch and Celene argue often. If Morrigan tells Celene something unpleasant, she will avoid the witch for months before curiosity draws her back. Morrigan has an interest in ancient things, magic from a time before the Chantry ever existed, and it is this pursuit that intrigues Celene. Morrigan can answer questions that Madame de Fer either could not or would not. Whether any pertain to blood magic or other forbidden things, that I can only suspect. 3 of my spies disappeared after attempting to breach the spells protecting this woman's laboratory in the depths of the palace. I would raise a fuss, but then my efforts would be revealed, even though I doubt I am alone. The entire court is consumed with curiosity, and the more Celene keeps her in the sidelines, the more we all wish to know. Our Empress plays with fire. Considering she has yet to find herself a husband to solidify the future of her dynasty, these dealings with the apostate are one more nail in her coffin. Yours in trust, Madame de Carnay. Let's hope so. Wait, was I supposed to go back? I don't know. I think I'm supposed to go back into the ballroom.
Someone will be held accountable for this.
Must be the elves Briala's people are looking for.
Since I took that box up to the Grand Apartments, 9 people have subtly tried to asking me where the vault is, including a couple of chevaliers, the 5th undergardener, and one of the Grand Duchess's footmen. I'm not mad enough to tell.
This was no servant. What's he doing here?
Does this guy seem out of place to anyone else?
The crest of the Chalon family. Duke Gaspard will answer for this.
Time to have a word with the Duke. Venatori agents! That must be the Venatori leader.
This is not the right way. Dang it! It's definitely not the right way. Dang it! Stairs. Dang it, I need to get over there. How the heck?
Let's look around.
It would help if I knew where I had to go. How do I get up there? And I'm losing approval. There's not stairs.
Fancy meeting you here. So, you're Inquisitor Trevelyan. I'm surprised they got you sobered up and dressed for this party. We haven't been properly introduced, have we? I'm Ambassador Briala.
I'm glad to meet you finally, Ambassador.
Your reputation for getting results is well deserved. You cleaned this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people. But you've beaten me to it. So, the Council of Errol's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
He was dead when I arrived.
I expected as much. You may have arrived with the Grand Duke, but you don't seem to be doing his dirty work. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers. But killing a Council emissary? Bringing Tevinter assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
The Empress needs to know what's going on.
You can try to warn her. She won't believe anything from me. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
You know how to make a sales pitch, Ambassador. I'll give you that.
I do, don't I? I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both. Just a thought.
More politics and double-dealing. Is there anyone here who is not corrupt?
Hopefully my approval can go up.
Interesting.
Inquisitor Trevelyan. We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon. Welcome to my party.
Is there something I can do for you, Your Grace?
Indeed you can. I believe tonight you and I are both concerned by the actions of a certain person. Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us on the dance floor.
Very well. Shall we dance, Your Grace?
I'd be delighted. You are from the Free Marches, are you not? How much do you know about our little war?
I assure you, the effects of this war reach far beyond the borders of the Orlesian Empire.
Perhaps it does. I should not be surprised to find the Empire is the center of everyone's world.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations. Yet one party would use this occasion for blackest treason. The security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
Do we both want that, Lady Floriane?
I hope we are of one mind on this.
In times like these, it's hard to tell friend from foe. Is it not, Your Grace?
I know you arrived here as a guest of my brother Gaspard, and have been everywhere in the palace. You are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some.
Am I the curiosity or the concern to you, Your Grace?
A little of both, actually. This evening is of great importance, Inquisitor. I wonder what role you will play in it. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is foe? Who in the court can be trusted?
I trust the Inquisition, Your Grace. Every man for himself in the Imperial Court, after all.
In the Winter Palace, everyone is alone. It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous machinations tonight.
I thought dangerous machinations were the national sport in Orlais.
You have little time. The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming.
We'll see what the night has in store, won't we?
That was a big boost.
You'll be the talk of the court for months. We should take you dancing more often.
It's a relief to do something other than fight demons and horrors.
You still face demons and horrors. These ones are simply better dressed.
Were you dancing with Duchess Florian?
More importantly, what happened in the servants' quarters? I heard there was fighting.
I hope you have good news. It appears the peace talks are crumbling.
Morrigan helped me get into the servants' quarters, where I found a group of Venatori and Gaspard's dagger.
The man would truly do anything to become Emperor.
Then, the attack on the Empress will happen tonight.
Warning Celene is pointless. She needs these talks to succeed, and to flee would admit defeat.
Then perhaps we should let her die.
You have an idea, Liliana?
What Corypheus wants is chaos. Even with Celene alive, that could still happen. To foil his plan, the Empire must remain strong. This evening, someone must emerge victorious.
And it doesn't need to be Celene. She's right.
Do you realize what you're suggesting, Liliana?
Sometimes the best path is not the easiest one.
You're asking me to decide what's best for Orlais.
More than that, whoever controls the Imperial throne will affect all of Thedas.
You cannot stop Corypheus without a decision. You must support someone, or all is lost.
Then we should support Celene. She is the rightful ruler. Why would we say otherwise?
Because she led Orlais to this point. I say Gaspard, provided his sister is wrong about him.
I would suggest Briala. She could bring true peace, not only to the Empire, but also to its elves.
This is, however, your decision, Inquisitor, not ours.
I can't decide this. Not yet.
You must. Even inaction is a decision, Inquisitor.
You could speak to Celene in the ballroom, but she won't act. Not without proof.
If Gaspard is guilty, he'll admit nothing. If he's innocent, he knows nothing. We need the truth.
What did Duchess Florian tell you?
She said Gaspard's mercenary captain is in the Royal Wing, that he knows about the assassination.
Which could be a trap.
Or a lead. Either way, you should search the private quarters in that wing for clues.
Then get me access. And in the meantime, get your soldiers into position.
At once. Be careful, Inquisitor.
The most unusual part of Orlesian theater, appropriately enough, revolves around our southern neighbors' love of masks. Every actor wears a mask, and every mask follows a hierarchy of shape and colors that indicates to the audience the character's importance. Half-face green masks indicate a leading male role, for example, while half-face purple masks are for primary female characters. Full white masks are reserved for roles of no clear gender, such as spirits, except for demons, whose masks must always be black and red. Further complicating matters for those new to Orlesian theater, an actor's race or sex has no bearing on the part they can play. If a director believes they can sell the part, men can play dowagers, women can play dukes, and even an elf can play a king. Once donned, the mask is understood to be absolutely them. None of the actors I spoke to could explain to me the history behind this tradition, but bristled when I suggested other nations find it strange. There's a strong bond of trust between Orlesian theater troupes and their viewers. Indeed, I've rarely attended such attentive audiences than in Val Royeaux. It is my guess that Orlesians, surrounded as they are by masks in their daily lives, both require and fully respect a place where the objects boldly display their wearers' intentions for a change. An appendix at the back of this volume lists the appearance and meaning of Orles's theatrical masks. These conventions are vital to understanding the history of its finest theater, a journey I hope you will find as rewarding as I have. From a Compendium of Orlesian Theater Volume 1, Introduction by Magister Palinar.
We can only hope Celene prevails tonight.
I have an idea, Josephine. You should invite all the family to Skyhold for the summer.
Gudliborg, the second you stepped past the gates. Skyhold is a fortified castle. Holidays.
Don't you please us?
Got another coin.
I do. There's just so much work on top.
Inquisitor, to what do we owe this honor?
We are always delighted to speak with you, of course. Her Imperial Majesty is unfortunately occupied at present.
If the evening ends favorably for the Empress, how does the Inquisition benefit?
Her Imperial Majesty brings the might of the Orlesian Empire with her friendship.
She is also a respected diplomat and world leader. She can forge alliances for you with Rivain, Antiva, the Underfells.
And she throws the best parties.
I'd like to know more about the negotiations. What is the Empress trying to accomplish with the negotiations?
Peace is her only objective, Inquisitor.
Gaspard and Briala are driven by personal ambitions, but those desires threaten the safety of all Orlesians.
The war must end tonight. We must conclude this to deal with the larger crisis.
What's happening with the peace talks now?
Things do not look promising.
The Grand Duke is as stubborn as always. He will not accept anything but victory in battle.
But the night is young, and Her Majesty will do everything she can to persuade him.
Perhaps you could tell me something. We haven't been properly introduced.
How rude of us to forget.
My Lord Inquisitor, allow me to present Lady Couteau.
And Lady Colombe.
And of course, Lady Fleur. We are the Empress's ladies-in-waiting.
I'd like to know more about Empress Celene.
Her Majesty has held the throne since she was just 16 years old.
She is respected and beloved, not just in Orlais, but across Thedas.
She doesn't care much for liver, and she drinks her tea black.
My investigations turned up something interesting. It concerns Ambassador Briala. The people have infiltrated every part of the Winter Palace.
This is extremely alarming, Inquisitor.
She could be spying on our every word.
How exciting!
My investigations turned up something interesting. It concerns the Grand Duke. He's made a lot of threats to the Council of Heralds.
The Grand Duke is all talk, Inquisitor.
Very loud talk, accompanied by swords.
He has never had any skill at the game.
My investigations turned up something interesting. Good evening.
Until next time, Inquisitor.
Do take care.
Enjoy the masquerade.
Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the Fae by Andraste? Commander, has anyone ever told you that you have the most remarkable eyes?
Several times this evening, actually.
Look at Lady Cambion's slippers. Trimmed with pearls. And emeralds. And those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
There's a Tevinter assassin on the loose, and you're concerned about buckles on shoes.
Everyone needs a hobby. Besides, you can learn a great deal about a person from their clothing. Gold and jewels on a dancing slipper. A slipper is easily lost and finds itself in the dust and dirt. She is unconcerned with the possibility of losing the shoe or soiling it. A vulgar display of wealth. But Lady Cambien's family has recently lost most of its holdings. They have their title, but little else. So, how did Cambien acquire such a grand shoe, What has she done? Who has she bedded? These are all useful questions, no?
You're different here than in Skyhold. More approachable, perhaps.
This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the Great Game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. And like any dance, it can be learned. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
Do you really think Briala should be given influence?
Celene has been in power long enough to expect support. If we secure her throne, she will be grateful. But such gratitude will pale beside that of one we raise up from nothing. Who is lower than the elf? If we place Briala in power, with Gaspard as her mask, her debt to us will be great indeed. And Gaspard will have the throne he has wanted. With conditions, of course. I suspect he will still find it gratifying.
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
Very interesting. It may not help our investigation, but we can put it to use. A little more dirt like this, and we might have some leverage in the court. If you find more, let me know.
Have you seen anything interesting?
Oh yes. Halam Shiral is lousy with scandals and scheming. But no sign of our Tevinter infiltrator, I'm afraid.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always am.
Now to keep that approval up.
I still Lord Inquisitor?
Would you care to dance, Lady Mantillon?
You, Inquisitor, are a delight. One does not often find foreigners so well versed in the game. But you have other dances to perform first. Perhaps you will save me a dance for later?
I'd like your opinion of this gathering, my lady.
It's doomed to fail, of course. Celene knows that. At least it should be amusing. We haven't had such a menagerie at court in living memory.
Have you noticed anything odd this evening?
Too few Imperial guards stand in attendance, my dear. A shame. They are so pleasantly decorative.
Good evening, milady.
Okay, let's see. Find material in the Royal Ring. Royal Wing. Blackmail Gaspard. Blackmail Briala. I found another coin, didn't I? Whoa.
Is it true what they say? You're the Inquisitor, are you not? We heard stories of your accomplishments.
I'd wager I have better tales than anything you've heard.
I told you, Philippe. Not everyone fights an archdemon and lives to tell. It's an inspiration.
If you like, Commander Cullen could give you all the details of that battle. He's in the ballroom.
Really? But I shouldn't leave my post.
You'd only be gone a moment.
Philippe, the world is coming to an end. If we don't hear this story now, we'll never have a chance.
You're right. Thank you, Inquisitor. Let's go.
Where is it? Where is it? Philip, move in on the western wing of the palace when I send you 3 shots of brandy, not taking any chances. Can't do that. Found another coin.
How does things look out there? Are the negotiations over yet?
Both the Empress and the Grand
Gaspar
Duke
is
were
wasting
angry.
his time.
He's gathering.
Nothing he does could win over the continent.
Where has that servant gone? Elves, always shirking their duties. Lady Nightingale makes me nervous.
How will you address the continuity errors in Hardin Hightown? Will you retract the entire print run?
Having fun, boss? I always enjoy canapes while surrounded by people who want to kill me.
What's happening? Anything I should know about?
To be honest, I haven't seen much. But you wouldn't expect anything to happen out in the open. Everyone is on edge, and it's not just that they're worried about the war.
Having fun, Varric?
My brother used to throw galas like this in Kirkwall. I always tried to avoid them. I'm not much of a dancer these days.
I didn't realize you were famous. You have plenty of admirers.
I didn't know my book sold so well in Orlais. I'm going to have a chat with my publisher.
We can chat later. Just wait for the signal.
Just give the word. We're ready to move.
Lord Varric, you must give me your opinion on the books of Lady Chastain. But if I take the fox across with a second ring, no, that won't work.
Stick with it. You'll figure it out.
Countess Dion. You mock me. It's what I do best, I'm told. He cannot be our child. I've asked about the town. He wears my great-grandfather's scabbard, the one that went missing that night. Impossible. Then you have no objection to our visitor? Who else have you informed of this? Woman in a black and gold mask with crow feathers on the side enters from the servant's door. She bows. The countess pales and puts her face in her hands. But if the man come to visit the castle is our son, as you said, he cannot be, for both our sakes. From The Heir of Virchiel by Paul Legrand. Rife with betrayal, revenge, and a thundering climax, The Heir of Virchiel is performed each year in the city that gave it its name, a lavish production put on for the nobility who visit from nearby Hallam-Sharal. The first performance of the play featured the noted actor Victor Boyet as the Duc Le Suil, a city elf from Val Royeaux. Boyet took smaller roles for 5 years before convincing Legrand he was fit for the part. His first performance in the capital was so well received that when the cast came out to thunderous applause, the current emperor rose from his seat when Boyette took the stage. Elves have done well in Orlais theaters, much to the surprise of those outside the country. But actors' lives are hotbeds of scandal and intrigue that would make even the bards blush. It is unusual at first to see elves openly tolerated and sometimes even welcomed into their better circles, but Orlais treats its actors as a breed apart. From a Compendium of Orlesian Theatre, Volume 3, Tragedies in the Modern Style, by Magister Pellinar.
So, there's three.
Got another coin.
I so look forward to your next serial. How many? What is Lady Pentecost wearing?
Toss a coin to your witcher. We need to find a way into the royal wing. Got another coin.
Good to know.
Liliana. I got more stuff. I wonder, is this accumulating with like, is it accumulating over 100, or is it just staying at 100 and I'm just wasting my time?
Mistress, I swore off marriage forever.
So many crimes of fashion.
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
This is good work.
I hope it is.
Maximilian Swift.
Where is Briala? Let's try and make this quick. Hopefully not lose too much approval. Cassandra, you need to level up. Okay. And finally, Cassandra.
Are we going to sneak around to look through the Empress's unmentionables now? Just how drunk are you, boss?
Thank you.
Are you all right?
I don't think I'm hurt. No one's supposed to be here. Briala said... Oh, I shouldn't have trusted her.
Briala told you to come to this wing of the palace?
Not personally. The ambassador can't be seen talking to the servants. We get coded messages at certain locations, but the order came from her. She's been watching the Grand Duke all night. No surprise she wanted someone to search his sister's room.
This wing is sealed. How did you get in here?
Easy. The door was unlocked. One of the others probably handled it.
So this room belongs to Grand Duchess Floriane.
It used to. This had been her private room in Halam Shiral since she was a child. But this part of the palace was damaged, and the royal family moved to the guest wing.
Is there anyone else who knows the code and the drop location who could have written those orders?
I don't know. Any of us could do it, but... No. No one else would send me here. It had to be Briala.
What were you trying to find in Florian's old room?
The message didn't say. I should have known it was a setup.
It takes great courage to come to the Royal Wing unarmed.
It's not courage to blindly follow Briala's orders into a trap. I knew her. Before. When she was Celine's pet. Now she wants to play Revolution, but I remember. She was sleeping with the Empress who purged our alienage.
Would you be willing to testify to that, if I asked?
Absolutely. If the Inquisition will protect me, I'll tell you everything I know about our ambassador.
Go to the ballroom. Find Commander Cullen. He'll keep you safe.
Thank you. Make her protect you, Inquisitor.
What happened here?
Inquisitor, what a pleasure. I wasn't certain you'd attend. You're such a challenge to read. I had no idea if you'd taken my bait.
I fear I'm a bit busy at the moment if you were looking for a dance partner.
Yes, I see that. Such a pity you did not save one final dance for me. It was kind of you to walk into my trap so willingly. I was so tired of your meddling. Corypheus insisted that the Empress die tonight, and I would hate to disappoint him.
You're Orlesian royalty. Why would you help Corypheus attack your empire?
You think so small, Inquisitor. Why settle for an empire when Corypheus will remake the entire world? I admit, I will relish the look on Gaspar's face when he realizes I've outplayed him. He always was a sore loser.
What exactly is in this for you?
The world, of course. I'll deliver the entire south of Thedas, and Corypheus will save me. When he has ascended to godhood, I will rule all Thedas in his name.
Why kill the Empress? What does Corypheus want to achieve?
Celine's death is a stepping stone on the path to a better world. Corypheus will enter the Black City and claim the godhood waiting for him. We will cast down your useless maker and usher in a united world, guided by the hand of an attentive god.
You don't have to go through with this, Florian. There's still time to turn back.
Oh, my dear Inquisitor, you are so naive. In their darkest dreams, no one imagines I would assassinate Celene myself. All I need is to keep you out of the ballroom long enough to strike. A pity you'll miss the rest of the ball, Inquisitor. They'll be talking of it for years. Kill him, and bring me his marked hand. It will make a fine gift for the Master.
Get over here, you. Pick it up.
Trusty's tits, what was all that? Were those demons? There aren't any more of those blasted demons coming, right?
No more demons. It's safe.
Maker? I've never seen one that close before. I knew Gaspard was a bastard, but I didn't think he'd feed me to fucking horrors over a damn bill.
Duke Gaspard lured you out here?
Well, his sister. But it had to come from him, didn't it? And all that garbage she was spewing doesn't mean anything. Gaspard had to be the mastermind.
Your accent sounds Fereldo. I thought you were one of Gaspard's mercenaries.
Born and raised in Denerim. Seems like I should have stayed there. The Duke wanted to move on the palace tonight, but he didn't have enough fancy chevaliers. So he hired me and my men. He had to offer us triple our usual pay to come to Orlais. Stinking, punsy cheesemongers.
Tempting, but...
I need you to tell that to the Empress.
Impressively ruthless of Gaspard, if predictable.
Do these people ever not stab each other in the back? Just curious.
Gaspard's methods are thuggish.
You saved my life. I owe you. And Gaspard still hasn't paid me. You want me to talk to the Empress, or the court, or sing a blasted song in a chantry? I'll do it.
Okay. Not here. Dang it. Crud, no. Okay. See how this goes.
Thank the Maker you're back. The Empress will begin her speech soon. What should we do?
Wait here, Gala. I'm going to have a word with the Grand Duchess.
What? There's no time. The Empress will begin her speech any moment.
We owe the court one more show, Your Grace.
Inquisitor?
Yes! I did it.
The eyes of every noble in the Empire are upon us, Your Grace. Remember to smile. This is your party. You wouldn't want them to think you had lost control.
Who would not be delighted to speak with you, Inquisitor?
I seem to recall you saying, all I needed was to keep you out of the ballroom long enough to strike. When your archers failed to kill me in the garden, I feared you wouldn't save me this last dance. It's so easy to lose your good graces. You even framed your brother for the murder of a council emissary. It was an ambitious plan. Celene, Gaspard, the entire Council of Heralds, all your enemies under one roof.
This is very entertaining, but you do not imagine anyone believes your wild stories?
That will be a matter for a judge to decide, cousin.
Gaspard? You cannot believe this. You know I would never... Gaspard?
You lost this fight ages ago, Your Grace. You're just the last to find out. Your Imperial Majesty, I think we should speak in private. Elsewhere.
Well, I didn't get all the coins of the Hala
Sister
statues,
attempted
but...
regicide in front of the entire court, Gaspard.
You're the spy master. If anyone knew this atrocity was coming, it was you.
You don't deny your involvement.
I do deny it. I knew nothing of Florian's plans. But you knew it all and did nothing.
I don't know which is better. That you think I'm all-seeing, or that you're trying so hard to play innocent and failing.
Enough. We will not bicker while Tevinter plots against our nation. For the safety of the Empire, I will have answers.
Aw, man. Man, I didn't get enough evidence on everyone.
Your captain tells me you spent all night sneaking mercenaries into the palace, Gaspard. You intended to attack.
And where did your troops come from, Inquisitor? If sneaking men into the palace is damning, then we are both damned.
I have the instructions you sent your general to sneak men into the palace in preparation for an attack.
It was a defensive choice. I expected betrayal here, just not by my own sister.
By all means, continue to protest your innocence, Gaspard. We find this performance endlessly fascinating.
His own mercenary captain will confirm that Gaspard brought hired thugs into the palace for an attack.
Mercenaries? So much for your chevalier honor, cousin.
And of course, he made death threats to the Council of Heralds.
Thank you, Inquisitor. There can be no doubt of your treason, Gaspard.
No, it seems there cannot.
In light of overwhelming evidence, we have no choice but to declare you an enemy of the Empire. You are hereby sentenced to death.
You have enough proof to dissolve his support for the throne, Your Majesty. You don't need to take his life.
As a favor to you, Inquisitor, I will let him live. Gaspard, you are hereby banished from the Empire on pain of death.
Is that all? You're too kind, Celene.
Thank you, Inquisitor, for all your efforts tonight. I owe you my life, and Orlais owes you its future. You have done a service for the Empire never to be forgotten, my friend. This piece is your doing. You truly are the instrument of Andraste. Orlais will never forget your part in this, nor will I. Lords and ladies of the court, the civil war which has plagued us is at an end. The Orlesian Empire is whole again. Those who drove us into war for selfish gain have been dealt with as traitors. Gaspard de Chalon is guilty of treason. He is no longer our cousin and shall never again hold title or land in Orlais. We have lost enough. No more! Now, we can move forward to healing and restoration. In our hour of need, the Inquisition has faced these dangers beside us. It is the honor of Orlais to stand with Andraste's herald to end this crisis. And in ages to come, our children and grandchildren can say that we left them a brighter world. Will you address the court, my friend?
I know if you get enough evidence on everyone, you can basically have them dissolve it peacefully. But, you know, I was afraid of losing court approval, so I kind of rushed through everything. But it happened, so I'm sticking with it, I guess.
Ending the war was the first step. Our final goal must be peace for all Thetis.
Well said, Inquisitor. We of the court must use our resources. Not every battle is won on the field. But that is tomorrow. Tonight, feast, my friends. Enjoy our victory. There will be many more to come.
The Orlesian nobility make drunken toasts to your victory, and yet you are not present to hear them. Do you tire so quickly of their congratulations, Inquisitor? 'Tis most fickle, after all your efforts on their behalf.
I would have stayed, but the punch ran dry. Scandalous.
Indeed. Let us see if you take this piece of news as poorly. By imperial decree, I have been named liaison to the Inquisition. Celene wishes to offer you any and all aid, including mine. Congratulations.
I had no idea you were interested in joining the Inquisition.
The assignment has been given to me, regardless of my personal interest. Celene knows you face an opponent who wields great magical power, which is far more important than her own curiosity. You will require my knowledge if you are to defeat such magic. Regardless, Corypheus is a threat to Orlais, and to myself. Thus, I am not opposed to the appointment.
What skills do you have that would benefit us?
I have knowledge which falls beyond the realm of most mages. I suspect this is also true of Corypheus, thus it behooves you to add to your arcane arsenal, yes? Mundane knowledge will not bring the rift in the sky to a close, after all.
When you say knowledge beyond the realm of most mages, do you mean blood magic?
I know many obscure, forgotten, and forbidden arts. Some of it you might consider blood magic, yes? Should thought of that frighten you, allow me to offer reassurance. Knowledge alone does no harm. What I possess, I place at your disposal, to make use of or ignore as you desire.
Welcome to the Inquisition, Morrigan.
A most gracious response. I shall meet you at Skyhold.
Is everything all right? You look troubled.
Things went according to plan for once. I couldn't be happier.
Tonight was a triumph. You should be proud. Is there anything I can do? Can I get you anything? A drink, perhaps?
Would you care to dance with me, Lady Josephine?
I was hoping you'd ask, my lord.
Wicked eyes and wicked hearts. So yeah, if it wasn't for worrying about dropping court approval, I would have taken longer to look around and find stuff. So now, Morrigan's back again. So now what?
The matter is urgent, Lady Josephine.
I am well aware of that, revered mother.
We will need them to return to Val Royeaux as soon as possible. There are ceremonies, ordinations. Maker's mercy.
That's quite impossible at the moment. However, I will see to this matter as soon as possible.
My Lord Inquisitor. Please, may I have a word with you?
How may I assist you, revered mother?
With the political turmoil put to rest, our minds turn to a single question. The next divine. We cannot answer it without the left and right hands of Divine Justinia V.
I have already told you, revered mother. Lady Leliana and Seeker Cassandra cannot be spared from their duties.
But surely with the support of the Empire, the Inquisition will not be harmed by the loss of just 2 souls.
Why do you need Liliana and Cassandra?
They were Her Holiness's most trusted advisors. They represent her legacy, her hopes for peace in Phaedos. They could rally the Grand Clerics to follow as no candidate from the clergy has been able to.
Liliana and Cassandra are candidates to become the Divine? How is that possible?
Not yet. But they could be. We need them to be. There is precedent. Other times when clerics remain deadlocked, a successor was chosen from outside the clergy. Lady Liliana and Seeker Cassandra were Justinia's most trusted friends and advisors. Our late Divine is still held in high esteem. To honor her, the Grand Clerics might support one of them as successor.
How long does the Chantry need them?
Several months, at least. If one of them is crowned Divine, she would not be returning to the Inquisition.
Liliana and Cassandra would have to make that decision for themselves.
And they certainly will, at a later date. The Inquisitor has only just returned and has important business to attend to. You must excuse us, revered mother. Don't let them detract from your victory at Alam-Shiral. We've beaten his wardens and stopped his intrigues. Soon, Corypheus will have no place to hide. Cullen is hoping to press our advantage. We'll plan our next attack when you're ready.
Okay. Did I get Burke? Oh, I got a lot of masks.
Worship?
Let's level up.
I do not believe a reminder is necessary for this accused. Her capture and disgrace could not have been more public. Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon, although her titles are among the dignities already at risk of forfeiture. You spared her life despite her treachery. What becomes of it now falls to you.
Out of your element, Floriane. Welcome to the Inquisition. My party.
Despite her posture, Lady Floriane has acknowledged your authority.
Should I curse you on behalf of the Elder One? I realize he had no intention of honoring the concordats I manipulated. Do as you must. I respect your mastery of the game, even as I despise your victory. Celene does not know her fortune.
She respects only the shallow demands of court. She must seek higher purpose. Florian de Chalon, you will be cloistered within the chantry.
Boredom, your worship. The sentence you have imposed is boredom.
Okay, then. Let's go check out the war table. Lilian and Cullen, I think, should be done. Send you guys back out.
It's time to plan our next attack. What's the state of the Inquisition?
We're well loved in Orlais. Say the words and Empress Celene will send her support.
And your actions at Adamant denied Corypheus his army of pet demons. With Orlais' support, our numbers match his. Corypheus' followers must be panicking.
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
Perhaps they'll rethink following the Darkspawn Magister from the dawn of time. Where is Corypheus now?
After you dealt with the Duchess, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds. He's moving south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
They've terrorized Thetis long enough. We end them now. If Corypheus is hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we'll go.
But what is Corypheus doing in such a remote area?
His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one. Fortunately, I can assist.
You have my attention, Lady Morrigan.
What Corypheus seeks in those Forgotten Woods is as ancient as it is dangerous.
Which is?
'Tis best if I show you.
What is it?
This is an Illuvian, an elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
You can restore an artifact like this?
There was a price, but one I gladly paid. I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds, untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere to find my prize. If Corypheus has turned southward, he could succeed where I failed. The Illuvian would be his.
What does it do?
A more appropriate question would be, where does it lead? If this place once had a name, it has long been lost. I call it the Crossroads, a place where all Illuvians join, wherever they might be.
This place is extraordinary. How could this even exist?
Who can say? Formed from the fabric of time and space, perhaps. The ancient elves left no roads, only ruins hidden in far-flung corners. This is how they traveled between them. As you can see, most of the mirrors are dark, broken, corrupted, or unusable. As for the rest, a few can be opened from this side, but only a few.
How did you find out about this place?
My travels have led me to many strange destinations, Inquisitor. Once, they led me here. It offered sanctuary.
Sanctuary?
Not all the mirrors lead back to our world. The ancients were nothing if not resourceful.
If they don't lead back to our world, then...
Places between, like this one. I can describe it no better. For a time, I was safe from those who hunted me, but only for a time. One cannot remain in between forever.
What do you mean, a few can be opened from this side?
Some of the Illuvians have been left unlocked, like doors accidentally left ajar. All others are closed. They can be opened only from beyond.
Opened how?
With a key.
I suppose you have such a key?
The key can be many things. Each Illuvian is different. I have knowledge as well as power. Often that is enough.
Corypheus wants to come here?
This is not the Fade, but it is very close. Someone with enough power could tear down the ancient barriers.
And enter the Fade in the flesh, like Corypheus wanted to do with the Anchor.
He learned of the Illuvian in the Arbor Wilds as I did. He marshals the last of his forces to reach it. You have made Corypheus desperate, Inquisitor. We must work together to stop him, and soon.
Okay. Oh, Morgan's with us now. What should I get? Okay, let's get you guys in. We will provide Zevran with the resources he needs, without telling the crows, of course. Lord Enzo is proving elusive. More eyes in Hercynia cannot hurt. How much light do you have? You have 11 minutes.
You seem to enjoy yourself at the Winter Palace, Liliana. Or was that part of the game?
Perhaps it was both. There you are. I will not turn my back on them, but we've established agreements with the Thibaults. Their initial hatred of the Inquisition was a device, and they are willing to have us in their favor. Okay, we got a whole bunch of other stuff. See what's over here. Not much in Ferelden. A missive sent to Skyhold. I've tracked down the location of Lord Enzo and rather more Venatori than I was expecting. Shall we say goodbye to our troublesome friend? Zevran is talented, but also outnumbered. My agents can create a distraction. He can eliminate Enzo and the Venatori in the confusion. Involving ourselves in the assassination of an Antivan noble is dangerous, as is allowing someone to steal a crow's target. If you trust Zevran to complete the task, let us part ways now. Heck no! Send backup! Let's see what we have.
And as for you, Cullen... Oh, Josephine, I mean. Lady Thibault is asking for closer ties and access to trading partners as she tries to circumvent the traditional blockages of the allegiances in the capital. Some houses have switched sides, others ceded holdings entirely to avoid the shame of officially losing all standing. More and more, they are concerned with station and alliance over whatever objections they stated about the Inquisition. We gained her trust with alliances. If we are willing to continue the relationship, it's only fitting that we strengthen those ties.
At your service.
Well, it's a good thing I still have a few little side stuff to do, like defeating two high dragons for a side quest. And since we continued main story path, I'm sure there's more dialogue with our companions open. But we're going to have to leave that for next time. Until then, if you liked this video, let me know in the comments. If you really liked it, press that cute little like button. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Luke Dog, and I'll see you next time. Nate, what are you looking at over there?